Welcome back to another chess tactics video. Today I will be showing you games of grandmasters in the Prague International Chess Festival held in Prague. The first game we're going to look at is David Navarro, uh, the Czech champion, versus Abdusattorov Nodirbek. So we start off with e4, e5, knight to f3, knight c6, and we get an Italian d3, and Nodirbek is attacking. We get a5, b5, knight d7, knight d2, both sides castle, knight to g6. Both sides are developing. Now they're going to try to fight for the center, but somehow go with d4, and that is what happens. We get d4, takes, with d5, striking back at the center. Takes, knight takes, get queen b3, eyeing the pawn on f7 with our bishops and queen. So you get c6, defending the knights. Rook to e1, knight to b4, knight to e4, and we get a first mistake of the position. C takes b5. We get a takes b5, opening the file for the rook. Get bishop to f5, knight to g5, and queen to d7 is a second mistake by Navarro. We get bishop to a3, rook a to d8, bishop takes b4, and we get knight c5. If I'm correct, I think the best line was to take knight takes f7 or bishop takes f7, but I'm not so sure. I might check. Yes, it's knight takes f7, rook takes f7, knight g5, and this pin and the knight is just very good. So, but Nodirbek, I don't know, maybe he found some calculations and he didn't like it. So went knight c5 and get queen c7. Black was better here because of moves like queen takes d4. I don't know why Navarro didn't take the free pawn. Maybe he didn't like some moves like rook d1 and stuff. Oh no, that just hangs a piece. I'm just saying. King out the queen, but we get a normal move like queen c7. This is what happens in the game. We had rook a c1, knight to f4, and we have bishop takes f7. And after king to h8, we get queen to f3. Nodirbek's position is really active, eyeing b7, stopping the king, attacking him. We're gonna go in the future like g3, queen h5, and attack the pawn on h7. I mean, this position is really good for Nodirbek. We're h6, and knight takes b7. Knight takes b7. Here, Nodirbek was getting a little bit greedy. I mean, knight to e2. I mean, is now Navarra saying, no, no, no. You didn't just take my pawn on b7. You're gonna suffer the consequences. So knight e2 is a brilliant move because if you take with the rook, then he takes your rook and it's checkmate. So instead of that, we get queen takes e2, queen takes b7, rook to c6. Here Navarro's quite winning, or not winning, but better because of bishop takes d4. Just taking his piece back, attacking b4, eyeing this diagonal on Nodirbek's king. But he played bishop takes d4, king to h1, and rook takes f7's a complete blunder because of rook to d6. And now Nodirbek sacrifices the rook. What a brilliant move. Because of rook takes d6, with queen to e8 check, king, king can't go anywhere, so rook to f8, we're gonna take the rook. It's like him backstabbing, like, you do that to me, it's like, have a taste of your own medicine, what you did to me. So instead of that, he didn't take and played rook to c8. Great, knight takes f7, queen takes f7, rook takes d4. This position is absolutely winning because he just took a bishop. B3, b6, rook to c7, trying to promote the pawn. Queen f3, b7, queen f8, and we get rook d to d1, stopping b1 queen. Rook to c5, trying to go rook b5. And in this position, David Navarro resigned because there's no way that you can stop b8, and we're stopping and we're threatening to take the pawn. So this was a really savage game by him. It's like he sacrificed a knight on e2, but then we sacrificed a rook on d6. Yeah, Nodirbek is just like a demon. He's beating everybody. And fun fact, after this tournament, Nodirbek is now on 4th place. He was 5th, but now he's 4th in the world. Okay, so next game. Next game is a really good game. Played by Nodirbek and Bartel. Just go to the beginning. And here we go. He's playing with the black pieces. So he starts off the game with e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6, knight to c3, and g6. It's a, what do you call it again? Yeah, it's a dragon Sicilian. d4, take, bishop g7. This is a classical dragon Sicilian. Bishop to e3, normal moves, and we get to this position where we get this move rook a to d1, and we get b5. b5, and now Bartel knows that Nodirbek is not playing for a draw, he's playing for a win because of how aggressive he's playing with the black pieces. It's like as if he's playing for white, but he's playing black. So we get rook f to e8, knight to d6, knight to d5, takes, knight to c4. Again, knight to c4. He's trying to win, he's not trying to draw with Bartel. Take, queen a5, queen takes a2, and queen a4, queen h4 is just a really bad move because we're just gonna eat all of his pawns on the queen side, and I don't think he can really do anything about it. I mean, so bishop takes e7, h6, queen to f4, bishop to a4. Another very good move. Knight to c6. Bartel was thinking somehow I'll try to beat him with bishop f6 and stuff like that. But you just get a trade. Take, rook to c8, queen to b6. And in this position, just Bartel resigned because there's no way of not trading queens. But if you don't trade queens, let's say here, we're gonna go c3, and this pawn is unstoppable. Nobody can stop it. So Nodirbek of this turf is just rolling this tournament. He's beating everybody. So let's move on to our next game. Next game is Abdul Satur versus Vincent. And now this game was a complete banger. This game was really, really good. And again, Nodirbek is playing with the black pieces. You get a d4, d5, c4 takes, and we get a c4 and e4. Usually people would play maybe e3, knight c3, even sometimes queen to a4, taking the pawn back immediately, or like knight c3, but he goes for the natural e4, knight to c6. I mean, knight to c6, I'm not better than Nodirbek, but I just don't understand why this move is played, because usually in these positions, you want to go e6 and go c5, and then knight to c6. Because when the knight is standing on c6, it's guarding the pawn on c7. And I mean, I don't know if this is really good, but he's better than me, so I won't judge him. Maybe this is his preparation. So we get bishop to g4, knight to e5, and you see he's trying to put a knight on d3 and defend the pawn on c4. So we get h3, knight takes f3, g takes f3, bishop to h5. It's a very good move. Eyeing this diagonal, and in future potential to try maybe even go g6, bishop g7, castle, and then this diagonal is going to be weak. Already root the bishop on g6 and blast it open, let's say knight d7 and f5. It's some ideas that I already see, but we get bishop takes c4, e5, bishop to d6, and we see again Nodirbek is playing for a win. He is trying to move his pawn, trading with pawns. We can just see it. Knight d7, good move, castle, and he's castling into the line of fire. What a brave move. a5, knight, and we get queen c7. And we get knight to a7, not letting us rook to go to c8 because c7 pawn is weak. Again, as I said, c5 would be a really good move. So we get f5, knight to c6, queen to f7, and we get h4. Vincent is trying to attack Nodirbek, but Nodirbek is keeping his bishop on h5 and not letting his pawn advance. So yeah, he's doing a great job with that bishop there. King to h8, queen to a8, h6, and I don't really know how Nodirbek won this position. I mean, it looks like white is the one attacking black, but you know Nodirbek, he can win in any situation. I mean, like, yeah, I'd probably not win against Vincent. Like, an international master in this position would probably not win. Not judging anybody, but I don't know, man. Take, f takes c, opening up the rook. We get bishop takes e2, queen to h5, queen to f3. And now we see Abdusattorov slowly but surely creeping into the white's position. King c2, knight to f6, knight to, queen to c4, and we get knight takes e4. And in this position, he goes knight back to f6. Such a savage move. Going back, blocking your rook, an idea is fatal. Just to take the pawn on d5. And you cannot stop it. You just can't stop it. No move. The only move is rook to d1. Knight to g4. And now, hello. Your bishop and your pawn is going. Where are you going to move it? Take. Queen c1. f1. Rook to f4. Queen to e3. We go rook c4. Queen b3. And here, he just finishes off the game with rook takes h4. And here Vincent resigned because in the future he doesn't want to waste time, and what all he's gonna do is go queen c4, queen g4, and just checkmate. But if you take the queen, you take with the rook or the pawn, doesn't matter, and then your pawns are just too strong. So this is how Abdu won in this game. This game was really good. I mean, I told you this game, all of these games by Abdul Sattar were bangers. So yeah, let's go to the next game. And the second to last game for the day, we get okay, Nodirbek versus Praham. A really good game as well, full of sacks and really good moves. But here it goes. Abdul's with the white pieces. Starts the game with a simple move e4. Top players usually play d4 sometimes, or even c4, but e4 is like mostly played by maybe Vishy Anand or maybe even Nepomniachtchi. But most players play d4, so we get a normal Sicilian a6, and you already see Brahman making a weakness on d6. We start playing, and we get to this position. Bishop on f1. Savage move, bishop f1. Garden pawn on h3, going rook e2 and transferring his rook, defending the pawn on c4. And I'm sorry if I'm too if I click through the game too fast, because I'm recapping 4 games and I need to do it really quick because my bedtime is pretty soon. So yeah, I have to keep going quick. We get knight to h4, bishop takes b5. A brilliant move. Well, if I had to analyze this game, I would count bishop takes g5 as a brilliant move. But we get h takes g5 because if he took the queen, we got bishop takes d8. So so that's why he didn't take. Um, he took with the pawn. Get queen to d3, knight to g6, knight to e3, rook to c6, queen to d2, sliding the queen back to rotate it to either h5 or e2 in here, or even like defend the place on c1. So we had b6, stopping queen to a5, threats a5, rook to e3, another really good move, transferring the rook like a lift. You know how you go in an elevator and you press a button and go up and down? That's what a rook does. We had knight c3, knight to f6, f3, solidifying the position. And let me click through the moves pretty quickly to this move. Queen to c6. Here, he plays knight to g2, which is the only move to keep his advantage. Rook to c3, knight to d2. Now look at this knight. This knight in e1. Just look at it. Look at how it traveled. Look at how it traveled from the different spots. Ready? Okay, it starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. Knight on e1. It traveled the whole board. It went from g8 to e1. In like how many moves? In like 45 moves. 47 moves. Gosh, I'd rather move our bishops than knights that much. But anyways, we get knight to e1. Praham is opening the file for the rook. Rook to h2, infiltrating into Nodirbek's position. And here we get knight to h2, a brilliant move. Sacking the queen. Sacking the queen. I mean, my god, this guy is a gangster. That's a gangster type of move. Knight takes h2. I mean, applaud. Applaud to him. Applaud. Applaud. I mean, I don't know. Knight takes c6. D takes c6. Knight d6. Bishop c4. And from this position, he played knight to e3, which is a complete blunder. Better was a takes b5. Says the engine, because we're trying b6. But we get knight to e3, rook to c2, and we get bishop to c4. a3, trying to checkmate or like even destroy the position of Nodirbek. We get knight to d5, and we have b3. Here, he's completely losing, just completely, because of a simple move. This is a move that Braham played, but the simple move is queen to a7. What's the idea? Let's say any move, c7, Knight takes e7. Knight takes e7. Queen takes e7. Let's say bishop g5. Queen e7. And the queen is on 7 on is straight in queen g1, and this diagonal is the diagonal that black needs. But Braham didn't see that. He went knight d4, get c7, rook d2, queen c1, and get this position. I mean, this position is absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, come on, you've got to agree with this. Knight d2. The only move to draw the position is knight d2. The only move, by the way, the only move to draw the position is rook takes d2. Another sacrifice of a rook. Queen takes d2, king takes a3, and the pawn on c7 is just a monster. Queen c1, queen c1 was the only drawing move, but he played queen a5, missing it. Bishop a4, queen a8, king b4. Another really good move, king b4. King b4. I mean, it's mind-blowing chess. Queen b7, king a5 was better, but he played bishop b5, king to c4. Another really good move. Bishop d7, and you just cannot stop the pawn. And he finishes off the game with another queen sack. Queen to g8. Beautiful queen sack. I mean, what a game. What a game. Applaud to the king. I mean, Nodirbek, you've been through so much. He's been in the top 15 for like 15 years. I mean, he is the second youngest player to win a world championship. First was Yong Hee, I think. Something like that. I can't remember her name. But it was a girl, world championship for women. At 16 years old, a woman won it. But we get Abdusturov that wins the Prague International Chess Festival. And yeah, that's it for today. Go subscribe to Chess Tactics. You can comment for Chess Tactics. You can do, whatever you want. Go tell other people about this video. But I mean, the last game that I just showed you, you have to like it. I mean, like this video, show other people this video, subscribe. And yeah, Chess Tactics!